Welcome back to the battle at Manassas Junction, guys. For those of you that have missed the first two parts of the battle, I highly recommend you head back and take a look at those because, man, we have a lot left to do here and a lot left to fight. A lot of people were talking about digging in and waiting to the next day. I mean, it's 11 a.m. right now. We have so much fighting left to do here, and we need to find some way to stop the Union. Now, I had already given full out orders to just send Beauregard's army over here, but we got some really good recommendations from Maximilian Schonhausen, a few other, Jackie Fisher, a few other people that recommended maybe taking some of the cavalry here, pretty much getting behind the enemy if we can. And trying to do just some opportunistic attacks. I think that's a decent idea. Unfortunately, Loring is the only cavalry unit that I could see that's willing to fight. Guys like Jackson, they have been through the ringer. And as you can see, even though we only lost 115 men, it's enough to keep him out of the fight for quite a while. Well, we've pushed forward just a bit here, folks. There's a lot of battle to fight. And I wanted to show you guys over here with Richard Ewell as an example that we do have Federals still trying to get behind our lines over here. So what I'm going to do with Ewell is I'm just going to redraw that guy, make sure he's behind the line. But we may be forced to take some guys like Jubilee early and go ahead and have them join the fight. The problem is Jubal, as you can see, he's very close to breaking. The morale is not wonderful with this unit. But if we send every single one of our units back here to face the enemy across the ford, I get the feeling we're not going to have enough men to hold off the potential group of enemies flanking us. Nonetheless, we don't really have time to think about it. We need to get these guys to the field, and a lot of them have already arrived. So I am busy pretty much setting up these positions right now. Let's make sure. I wanted to get one of these guys in the woods. Let's get Holmes there. And at least artillery has begun to fire. The bad news is we've seen that the Federals also have positions in the forest, man. So these guys are absolutely prepared to face us. We've got, of course, more men arriving. Purcell's artillery making it across. Could be, though, that just like the Union had an issue getting their arty across, we could have one getting the arty across here. It's taking a little longer than we'd like. We've also got Scurry's battalion, and these guys have been helpful since the beginning of the fight, just providing devastating artillery fire up at that main line. So let's hope they can make a difference here. The important thing is getting these guys into position before the Federals arrive in force. But man, they've got like a whole damn army here that they're facing us with. Now, if we look at the units, though, a few of these units are not as strong as like the 3,000 or 4,000 strength units we saw before. So let's hope that we can outshoot the Federals. We had so many good recommendations in the comments about what to do here. My approach is going to be this, and I'll show you guys. You know, had we had the time to wait until morning, I would have taken a different approach. But since we don't, I'm going to put some units over in this tree line. I'm going to try to get some units over in that tree line. And I'm going to try to see if they'll take the center, they'll come and attack, and then we'll close the gaps, moving in those units and hopefully getting an effective flank attack. And ideally, those units would be like Loring and his cavalry, other cavalry units. So I'm going to put Loring over here in the woods as well. And I'd love to get another cavalry unit in the woods over there. Unfortunately, despite not really taking much of a hit, Jackson is a bit tired. Not to mention that that bridge has been utterly destroyed. We're going to walk over it anyway. But he's a bit tired, and, you know, until he gets from stable to good morale, I'm not really sure I even want to move him. Now, as for Jubilee early, we're going to have Jubal start pushing forward over here. We are micromanaging a bit. Somebody had mentioned earlier that they don't micromanage nearly as much as we do. I enjoy it in most cases. In some cases, I might overdo it just a bit. And actually, you know what we will do? We'll put Jackson up here just so that he's next to the HQ. And hopefully that way he'll regain that morale a little bit faster. I wonder if we should start skirmishing with Bonham already. Yeah, why not? That's what skirmishers are for, right? Let's go. Okay, we almost got that artillery into position too. Oh, what a beauty. Give them hell, boys. What are these? 12-pounders. That's what I'm looking for. We are almost in range. Looks like their men have already started opening up on us. They might be expecting us to make the first move, but that is likely not going to happen here. Because the first move would not benefit us here. I mean, you know, they have an uphill position. We need them to attack us. So I'm hoping that by bombarding them, we're going to be able to basically bombard them into submission, force them into an attack. because already the enemy casualties are pretty significant. So if we could just keep stacking those up, well, I think we might be off to a victory. There we go. We got artillery on the way, boys. Like to see that as a lot, as well as men like Evans, or commanders like Evans, arriving at the field. Let's take a look over there at that position where the enemy was trying to flank us, where Ewell is. Ewell's in a nice position here. We could, of course, move forward, try to break that volunteer brigade. They're very close to breaking, but he's pretty exhausted. So I think I'm going to keep his men here. He is going to be our rear guard for the rest of the fight. That's it, Lauren. Get in there. They're very tired. We're going to have to let these cavalry rest for a bit. A long while. The same is true with Jackson's brigade. There's no doubt we're going to have let these guys rest, but the cavalry is going to be absolutely essential to a victory here. And look at the artillery we've got. We're relying on a large amount of artillery and cavalry here. It's that simple. We do still have infantry units, but they have been through the ringer in this battle, man. They have taken an absolute beating throughout the entire fight. So we do want to keep that in mind. I am going to push forward with this unit. And actually, we'll have Jones. Hopefully, he'll take up that left flank. Of course, Jones is not a particularly strong unit, so I don't want to make him the main fighter on that left flank. I want to make sure we have some replacements, but we're going to have to do that for now. What I'm not liking is it looks like the Union is doing exactly what you guys mentioned they might do in the comments, and they are trying to push this fight to tomorrow. Unbelievable. So they know it's not going too well for them, and they're saying, let's push this till tomorrow, or forcing us to, of course, take an offensive posture or attack their position, and we are just simply not going to do that. Lewis Ford is ours. We will stay put, guys. We're not going to take the bait. We will stay put until they come to us. So far, I think the skirmishers are doing a damn good job here on those Federals. They're not getting a single shot at us. Only 65 killed or wounded, but it's something for sure. Okay, Jackson, you just relax here with your cavalry. So I'm almost certain they're going to wait until tomorrow. It seems to me that that would be the correct approach. This gives us time, though, to get into position even more. To really... oh, look at that. Look at that. They've got more men over here, man. These Federals never stop with their tricks. Tricksy Federals. Let's actually stop his movement there. We're going to have to send some guys to go and inspect this area. Make sure that we don't have any enemies approaching. Maybe that's why they aren't moving. And maybe we should go on the offensive, or at least maybe push our artillery up a little bit closer. I think before we do that, or even consider doing that, we have to get the rest of these infantry units up to the front lines. Alright guys, not much is happening in this particular stage of the fight, so what I'm going to do is do a little bit of gaming magic. We're going to snap our fingers, and then we're going to come back a little bit later on in the battle when a little bit more is going on. So some good news, guys. It looks like Burnside's men have withdrawn. Of course, Burnside here is not the major general. He is later in the war. He's just a commander, pretty much. Yeah, standard colonel or something like that. Obviously still a very important position, but not enough for the battle to end. Now, we did talk about our plan to extend across the line, so I'm going to have Evans assist us with that. And actually, we already have some cavalry under Jackson heading into that forested position I spoke about earlier. We're also moving there with 3rd Brigade under David Jones. Now, this is going to be hopefully enough to draw them in. No, there we go. Enemy is retreating, boys. Just a little bit of faith in the Confederacy, and anything is possible. I'd love to get in there for a final charge. I really would. But I don't think we've got time. I think the enemy's going to fall back, and we'll go ahead. Continue. We will try and get the charge. People recommended we try and get these charges when we have a chance, but I don't think there's enough time to actually chase them down. Come on, come on, come on. Get that order now. The other thing is he's winded already, so no, I'm not going to risk the life of this guy, of Jackson. Although for him to get the order, no, there we go. We're not going to risk his life. We're just going to simply fire with our artillery. Continue to launch shots at the enemy, and it's amazing. Oh no, actually it's not amazing. I was going to say it's amazing that Bonham is low on ammo. We're finally running out of shots, but this is the skirmisher unit, so that's to be expected. That is definitely to be expected. they're going to run out of shots a lot faster than the regular force. Let's see. Let's take a look of victory, boys. Now, unfortunately, it's just a minor Confederate victory, but I'm going to take it. I mean, look at the casualties here. We took out 9,500 men. We lost 3,700. And frankly, losses like that for us were pretty significant. That's not great. But let's continue, and let's see exactly what we have to do here in the future with the Union. There's a lot we need to do with our campaign in general, so one thing we need to do is go to the tech tree and get rid of some of the tech so that we're only focusing on like one tech at a time. At least that's what I understood you guys told me to do. We also need to go ahead and start purchasing some more units or recruiting some more units or merely resting existing armies. The Battle of Manassas Junction has ended with the Department of Pennsylvania retreating in panic. Guys, that's what we're talking about right there. Army of Northeastern Virginia retreating in panic. Let's hope that it continues, though. I mean, I hope this is not just, oh, they're retreating, but they're going to be right back with another force within seconds. That could be the case. Let's just make sure. And there we go. Southern morale intact. More Union prisoners taken. Yankees forced to skedaddle, and the Confederate armies are unstoppable. Indeed, this has been our 5th victory, I believe. I was very nervous about that one, though. I really think that's the closest we came to having a defeat, almost without a shadow of a doubt. Now, over here in Richmond, the Army of Northern Virginia has risen. I don't think I showed you guys this, but it almost seems like just a defensive force, a reactionary force for potential federal forays south, like the one they just attempted right there against the Army of the Potomac, rather. First of all, let's get to our tech tree. Now, I'm sure you guys are going to have to really walk me through this. But if I go to policies, so use policy 7 of 7. Interesting. I think this is the approach, and let me know. So basically, we can do 1 for funding. Right now, we're doing the Tariff Act. Let's get rid of it. Although maybe we should do impressment instead. Let's do this. This is what will tell us if things are going the way I want them to quickly. 73 days on the Tariff Act, right? So let's cancel impressment. 62 days. All right. So now I'll quickly figure this out. What if I cancel? I don't want to cancel King Cotton. But let's say I cancel... I don't want to cancel the Militia Act either. I just want to cancel another one that we're not using and see if it affects this one over here. So that's 62 days. Let's cancel Letters of Marque. Okay. Hey. That's cool, man. We're learning. So the Tariff Act, higher tariffs. We're not going to worry about tariffs right now. Really, our main focus is the Militia Act and the Military II Act. So 89 days. Let's cancel Military II. Just want to get the Militia Act passed right now. King Cotton I also want to get passed. And industrialization. Yeah, maybe we need to come back to this. But we really need that militia, man. I'm going to try to keep 3 running. I'm sure you guys will let me know that that's a mistake, and we can change that pretty quickly. But let me know of those 3, which ones you think we should focus on. Nonetheless, I like to get that research back on track. That makes me feel just a little bit safer here. And of course, now the goal is to rebuild the army. I think that federal army is going to be stuck there for another turn. The question is, do we maybe just go ahead? No, we don't attack. We don't attack. Look at those casualties. Nearly 8,000. A lot of blockades going on as well. We need to do something about that. And earlier somebody mentioned that we could try to besiege the enemy forts, particularly Fort Monroe over here. I think with the Army of Northern Virginia, we might be able to besiege them. It's, of course, going to be a bit of a risk. And also, we need to wait for that army to become ready, but we will do that. Let's take a look at our other forces. Again, we got really successful over here with the Missouri State Guard. We need to find a location that we can actually hold. And it looks like these guys are not willing to take that... take those orders. They're just not ready. We need to get them back to a location where they can actually get supplies. Somebody had mentioned, that's right, construction. This is where we could put a depot. So let's see if we can put a depot... Unfortunately, nowhere here. We gotta find a better location. We just want to get these guys the hell out of here. The goal with our Western armies is to get them the hell out of here. We pushed way too far, and yeah, they can't even build a depot in that territory, so it's just not a place we want them to be. Let's bring them back as quickly as possible. Otherwise, I think things are going fairly well, all things considered. A bunch of victories up and down the line. The one issue we have, well, one big issue, is number one, we got the enemy's Army of the West arriving to face Leonidas Polk, I'm pretty sure. And that Army of the West, if I'm not mistaken, 26,000 men, yeah. So if they attack Polk here in Kentucky, in Louisville, we're going to have a hell of an interesting fight. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this series and for being so supportive in these particular fights and in all the likes and comments. It really helps the channel, so please keep it up. And if you can, share this with friends. Share this with whoever you think would appreciate it so that we can keep on bringing more and more people into the channel. I don't like the fact that the Union is not leaving. It looks like they're just kind of staying put. And that leads me to believe that we should be doing something here to get prepared for the Union. Who knows? Maybe we should send out Johnston and start attacking the Federals over here. We've already got Frederick, Maryland. Maybe we could get behind the line and take Baltimore from the enemy. How embarrassing would that be for them? Well, let me know, and we'll see what we do in the next episode. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing, guys, and that is we had Braxton Bragg over here, who I think can be quite helpful. What I'm going to try to do is get over here to Fort Pickens Garrison with Braxton Bragg. Then again, let me cancel that, and the reason being, they have over 10,000 men. There's no way we're going to be able to get there, so... Oh, damn it! Yeah, let's stop that. Then again, a raid into enemy territory. We have not tried a raid yet. Maybe we want to try that. Once again, let me know in the comments. Do we go for a raid here? I'm definitely tempted to use our naval capacity here. It's not much, but it's something against the enemy. I mean, we gotta do something with these ships, I feel, to try and lift one of the blockades at least.